Hello. Welcome to the House Heroes Friday Deal of the Week edition, where we're coming at you with a little extra market update today. Getting a 2-for-1 over here. So Troy's been hard at work, working hard, trying to, go out and gather information as it's being thrown at us. Feel like I got a shield up. Like, fake news, bunch of crap, and just trying to soak up what is actual factual out there. I had to just stop reading headlines and look at the headline and then actually read the article, and just the way the two don't connect at all sometimes still blows my mind. But we pulled a lot of info, and I just wanted to bring it to you guys. So
yeah,
say hi, Troy.
Yeah, guys, it's becoming harder and harder to find deal of the week. I have a lot of people come to us and say, hey man, there's got to be some great deals, some panicked sellers out there. Guys, there's really no panic sellers out there. I mean, actually, I have to say that I've shown probably 25, 30 homes this week, and I have not found any panic deals out there whatsoever. Actually, I've seen some really good deals, solid deals, but I haven't seen like some crazy good deals that everyone's talked about. And then when I actually look at, foreclosures, I'm just not seeing any foreclosures.
Well, and as we know with the moratorium, if there are any, it's going to be a while, because anybody who is in process and about to get foreclosed on, those aren't happening. Evictions aren't happening. And then you go, okay, well, if somebody's going to start getting into trouble now, they've got 30 days of missing a payment before you can even get that notice of default filed. But these banks are so overwhelmed right now. That's not going to happen. And their goal is to work with these borrowers. They don't want foreclosures. They don't want to have to deal with all of that, all those assets and the disposition, all that. That is not their business. Their business model is not to own properties. So you guys got to remember out there, they want to get to a performing note status. I'm in the middle of a short sale right now. We had an adjustment. So basically, first buyer backed out because the sale was taking too long. I got my buyer in, and we're sitting there, and the short sale negotiator said, this bank is very fast to respond to all of our correspondence. They called in today and they said, we are so slammed with paperwork that we haven't been able to upload your new offer in yet. And this has gone on for probably a week and a half. And so if that gives you any idea of what type of workload is coming at these banks, the last thing they're going to do is be able to process foreclosure paperwork, notices, default, things like that. So it's going to be a slow train on those people who are even in that situation. A lot, I've gone through all of my contacts this year, everybody we sold properties to. Nobody is in that position where they're panicked or they've got any issues. And like we talked about on the slide the other day, you've got a majority of people have a ton of equity in their home across the U.S. So out there, Troy, no panic selling that you're seeing.
I'm not seeing any panic deals out there. I just wanted to bring deal of the week this week. I've seen a few houses that are pretty good. I mean, when you start digging deep, if you're looking at SFRs, we're still seeing more sold homes than we are seeing homes going onto the market, which means the market's hot. When you get a chance, guys, we'll go over the market update. If you have a chance, we're going to put that up on YouTube as well as Instagram, our weekly market update. But I want to go over something first that we think is kind of the sham of the 2000s. Guys, in the news, what you want to learn. You want to learn that in the real estate market, okay, people come and go. Schemes come and go. Scams come and go. We see it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what we've seen coming, and almost, I think we're at the tipping point of going. You got it, guys, the iBuyer. So as we see, Zillow crumble the second that the coronavirus hit, and they're crumbling not because of the coronavirus, their actual stockholders are crumbling because they got the virus, the death roll virus. So all these companies are pulling out. They don't want to show their homes. They're scared they're going to lose money. They don't know where the market uncertainty is. And just like we saw, and I have to say this about what's the same in 12 years ago to today, Ryan. You're right. The iBuyer is the new flipper.
It is.
It's the new flipper.
Well, and this is what blows my mind. As I'm sitting here, you hear Open Doors laying off like 35% of their sales force and all this stuff. I just laugh because I look at some of these home builders. Lennar, big home builder, they've teamed with these iBuyers. They team with Open Door. They've teamed with companies like OfferPad, stuff like that. And they, instead of using local agents, local realtors, keeping the money in that neighborhood that they're building, they went and tried to use a tech company to make it easy for them. Oh, look, you can trade in your home and move up like a car. It's not like a car. It's much more personal. Every home is much different, from upgrades to lot location. It's it's not a 1990 Impala where everyone's got 200,000 miles.
Kelly Blue Book.
What's the Kelly Blue Book on this, Troy? You guys have to keep that in mind. And that's where these builders need to go in and they need to reassess their business model. Hey, was it smart to go with somebody who, had this newfangled model that completely stuck their tail between their legs and headed for the hills? The second there was even a whiff of a potential problem, they literally were the first ones to close up shop and run for the hills. And, or should we be working with local real estate agents to make sure that we get the sellers who are going to be our buyer the most for their money, and to be able to negotiate and facilitate that whole transaction so it's smooth. And I think they're going to have to reassess their business model after this for sure.
Well, I think they're going out of business. Personally, that's going to be the death. I mean, who can't make money on an up market? Yeah. Here's the question. And it's kind of funny because, and we'll hit this quote right now. Obviously yesterday, Open Door decided they've actually closed their doors. Closed Door is went closed about a month ago. So now they're just sitting around and let's give them a hand. They've kept people employed for 30 days of no sales, and now they came out yesterday and they're starting to dump their staff. Right here, you guys go.
It stinks. We're definitely not happy they're dumping staff, but this company, it was a bad business model. But what I'm talking about, these home builders need to reassess their business model as well.
And we'll talk about Lennar here in a second. So we're just going to read the very bottom part of this. This is coming from several different news outlets about Open Door's decision to come back and go ahead and dump a third of their staff.
And this is a quote actually from Open Door to their shareholders.
So it says, since Open Door's main source of revenue is home selling fees from home iBuying, it's been forced to make cuts. Let's go review that one more time. Since Open Door's main source of revenue is home selling fees. Now, didn't Home Door come out and Zillow come out and they're just anti-real estate agents because we get commission?
We charge fees. Yeah, we charge commissions. There's no difference between a fee and a commission. And that's what's so funny about this is their fees are higher than real estate agents' commissions across the board. So they try to act like they've got this new model, but really all they're doing is making money by charging commission. So
we're interactive here, guys. We have an audience right now. I want everybody to comment whether they want to pay fees, more fees when they sell their home or they buy a home. Please just write in the comment. Yes, no, yes. I want to pay. I want to see the person say, I want to pay more fees, please. I want to see that.
To a tech company.
Right. To a tech company.
Yeah. As long as it's a tech company, I'm willing to pay more fees. Hook me up.
This reminds me, way back in 2000 when all these internet companies kind of boiled up, right? And Kramer, who's on
Jim Cramer.
He owned a company, CNBC. and the reason why he's an analyst today is because he owned $1 billion company that was a sham, and he even said so. He said, yeah. I just hyped it up. It was worth $1 billion. He goes, I'm proud of that moment. And then it just crashed. There's nothing. It was a house of cards, right? Well, now we're finding out the second that the market turns for just a tad, just like the flippers back in 2008 when the whole market crashed, when everyone can get 5 homes, that working as a custodian at a high school, you turned around and what did you run into? You're running into the same people that are running this. And thank God SoftBank can't stop giving out other people's money because they keep funding the worst stuff.
WeWork, which is one of my favorite podcasts, is We Crash. You guys want to listen to a fun podcast? Go listen to We Crash. And just the amount of money they burned. It was literally they took millions and millions of dollars and just put it into an incinerator and burned it.
Well, I think this is the same incinerator because guess what happened in March? In March, they just dumped another $300 million into Open Door. Oh, why? Obviously, it wasn't towards Was it towards employees' salaries?
No, because they had pre-done covenants and agreements, and so they had to keep funding, or they were going to get sued.
Yeah, well, that's
just like they did with WeWork. So Eric's got a good question for us here. This one's from Eric Volkers. What do you think about those companies like Rex, not on the MLS, and only charge 2%, or the other company help you sell? All right, okay, or the other company help you sell. This is my thing. It was the same thing. People came in like, oh, I had one of my insurance agents call me like, aren't you worried about purple bricks? And I'm like, look, Justin, purple bricks is the same thing as Help You Sell, Assist to Sell, all those companies. Every time the market gets so hot that a home sells itself, you get these companies that come up. And the second you actually need a little help, truly need help selling a house and need somebody who knows what they're doing, they're all gone. This is not a new business model. Just because they got somebody to bankroll them with hundreds of millions of dollars and they're going to go spend all that money on advertising, it doesn't mean they're going to last. And sure enough, purple bricks turned around and fled the U.S. And so, Help You Sell, when homes sell themselves, hey, you know what? You can get reduced commissions and, good luck. With Rex, this is my take on Rex. I've worked on the other side of transactions with Rex. I've seen how much less their clients get. And this is what you guys have to remember. Sometimes it's willing to spend the money on the fees if you're going to net more. Really, it's always better to spend more as long as at the end of the day you're going to net more money. So with Rex, they have this, it's 2% fee. What's funny is that when I closed with them, they actually charged that seller 2.5%. It was not on the MLS. You have to remember that a majority of sales are transacted through the MLS. So all of a sudden, if I'm selling a home, I don't want to only have it seen by 3% of the buyer pool. I want it seen by the entire buyer pool. And the best way to do that is to get it on the MLS. Let every solid agent working with pre-approved buyers who are ready to go, that are looking for that listing, you want them to have access to it. Why would you hold it off the MLS completely and only market it on Zillow? It's a joke. One of the agents in our office has literally tracked every Rex listing that's come on in Orange County and gone off, and then he just calls in the second that the sellers give up because they're not getting any activity, not having people go through, and every one of them goes through the same frustration and is looking to have somebody actively sell their homes. And that's what his whole business model is centered around that. So for me, watching on the other side, I love him because I'll look on Zillow as well as on the MLS with my clients. We snagged a property that was a Rex listing, and it's in a condo complex where there's a regular turnover of model match homes because it's such a large community, and they're newer homes, so they're very similar as far as upgrades and stuff. And we got a $15,000 I'm going to say reduction on price. There was one that had closed 3 days earlier that got 15 grand more than this Rex seller, and it was purely because it wasn't on the MLS, and we were one of the few people that went in and saw that property. So I think it's a joke. I think it doesn't do the sellers any good. I think it's another one that people are going to try them out and realize it's not what they want. They want to sell a home and they want to net the most amount of money, and they're going to market it. And that's the greatest thing, is you want the best exposure for your property. That's the whole goal of marketing, is get exposure, because through exposure, you then have people, you have the foot traffic, you have interest, you have foot traffic, and based on foot traffic, you're going to get more offers, and with more offers, you can ratchet that price up. So, Purple Bricks went out of business, and many agents jumped to Rely, but I think they're going to be out of business soon. Yeah, again, it's like all these fly-by-nights, and again, Help You Sells will be around forever. There's a market for it. It's a very slim market, of buyers who want that. But hey, I like doing my brakes on my car every once in a while. But shoot, I still take my car to the shop all the time. So, good lead source. I think Rex only sells 33% of the listings they have. Hey, that's a great number right there. I'd be surprised if it was even that high.
But 33% in this market is...
Yeah, that's horrible. Because,
wow.
I still have about 110% of what I have. Nothing on mine sits around. And then I'm always looking for more. We've sold some off-market deals this year that never even hit the MLS. So... great questions, guys. If you guys have questions out there, if you guys are seeing any news that you're interested in, please reach out, hit us up. We'll be here. We're going to get to Deal of the Week, and we will definitely jump back to questions. You got any questions over there on your site, Troy?
No. Awesome. I've everyone watching. and they're watching because they understand that iBuyer platforms are just a fly-by nights. They're they're just doing the death spin on the air crash plane right to the ground. They're doing it right now, and we're seeing it. We don't even, they already have talked about, and Wall Street's kind of murmured that they might not even survive. So they went from like the real estate darlings, at the third or fourth quarter of last year to, death spiral in less than 6 months when a little glitch in the market hits. All I know, guys, is and me and Ryan and professional real estate agents will be here for you all the time. The market hasn't stopped. Nothing's stopped. The numbers show the market has not stopped at all. The market's still hot.
Yeah, I think the only frustration is putting on masks and gloves and booties on.
It just makes it harder to get in.
It takes it harder to get in. There's forms you got to sign, before getting in. There's just more logistics to go through, but that's really the only change we're seeing there. So, for every home that's coming up that's actively listed for sale, there's plenty of buyers out there as far as demand on the flip side. So let's jump to this.
Let's get right into it. So this, this property, and I'll premise everything with, it's a very tough market out there. You have, there's a lot of separation in the market right now. You have a lot of properties that have been flipped or have newer or look really nice, and those go absolutely in minutes. Then you have the older homes that have been sitting on the market, and they're sitting on the market for a while because the seller's unrealistic. They see the house down the street, they sell. They're getting high comp after high comp keeps coming in a little bit higher, ratcheting up, and then they go, I could sell my house for that, even though my house is completely dated. The today's buyers do not have the money or the time or the patience to actually do it. So I encourage everybody, if you could put a few bucks in your pot, in your home, you will reap the benefit 2 to 3 times more. So I look at, if I roll up to this house just hit the market. Actually, this duplex in Los Angeles just hit the market. 11518 Mona. I talked to the agent on this as well. This is it's a dated duplex. It's a fantastic price. It's at $395. It's got tenants in it, but they'll deliver both units vacant. Both units have separate meters. The only thing that they're charged, that the seller would have to bill out, is the water and the sewer. Other than that, the tenants will be connecting those other 2 utilities, and they'll be billed directly, which is fantastic. Now, if I look at it, if I look at just Section 8, right, and that's where I look at dollars. First of all, this house is 2 bedrooms. I mean, it's actually 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 2 units. So you get 2 and 1. All right, so that's a big plus.
And what's Section 8 on that?
And Section 8 pays $21.51 per unit.
Wow. And this says, they've got long-term tenants there, so obviously you're going to have to be stepping that up rent control-wise, 3% a year max. But still they're at decent rents. Right now, net operating income on this one's over $43,000. That's fantastic.
Yeah, this is a real gem
opportunity.
And it took me a while to find this home, and to figure this out because it's getting slim out there. I mean,
good rentals. Really are.
You have 2 different types of homes, we call it, when we look at the MLS, and then the deals are just becoming very tough.
Yeah, where's Roxy? I know she jumped in last week saying, "Hey, you got any under 650 in LA?" Well, here you go.
Yeah. Well, I know she put a duplex in escrow just recently. And
I know I got to help her out with that one. There's logistics. They don't have their certificate of occupancy yet. So we got to, there's always fun. Every day it's something new out here. This fantastic property. Yeah, look at that aerial. So you got a good sized lot there.
It's a 6,500 square foot lot.
Potential for add-on, maybe even an ADU, depending on zoning. So it doesn't list zoning right off the top. But that's definitely that's great location, close to the freeways. That's fantastic. That is
it's right off the 105. It's considered a little bit of the iffy neighborhood, but if I'm putting tenants in there, this is where the money's at, right?
Yep.
So
hey, let's do a couple shout outs. Let's say hi to Dad. Min's dad's on with us. It's good to see. And then, Eric had another question. Do you recommend new agents go to 100% brokerages? Look, this is the deal. You're not going to get much support there. Obviously, if you've got a broker who's not charging you anything for his services, it's a good chance his services aren't worth anything. So if you're a new agent, I always recommend the hardest thing in real estate is momentum to get that first deal. Who's calling you? People come into the business, they've got a couple friends and families deals, and then they flame out because that's all they have. They don't know how to go out and make contact with people and keep things rolling. And so it's best to be a part of a team who's out there, who's got deals going, who needs help, and that you can learn the business from somebody in the trenches with you, who can help teach you, who already has all those service providers. Because really, you walk in as a new agent, 100% brokerage, and your first deal, and they need a termite inspection. Well, what termite company are you calling? Is that a good deal? Are they good? Are they reputable? Okay, then you need subsequent inspections. There's so much that you're going to need help with. And 100% brokerages are designed for the mid-level person who just does a few deals a year, knows what they're doing, doesn't want anybody really, bugging them, doesn't want to pay anybody. If you're new, you want somebody who's going to be able to, help you with those leads coming in, and who's going to be able to help you and support you through the transaction. And for that, you should pay them. You should pay them for their time. So, that's my take on it. If I were starting out new in the industry, that's what I would do. I would go join a team that's doing good business, and that I kind of feel like I would fit in with. So, what's up, Andy? Good seeing you here. Carlos says, well said. I love it. Thanks for jumping on with us today, Carlos, as well. You got anybody over there, Troy?
I'm good.
All right. Well, you guys, I will say today, I always say that I learn something new in real estate every day. Today was no different, especially with these changes. Definitely keep tuning on here on What's a Mortgage. Listen to Min. He's bringing all of the lending guidelines and updates and what's going on in the market to you. Please follow us as well. We'll keep you abreast on what we're seeing out there in the real estate market, as we're talking to our bank clients, as we're talking to other agents in different areas, and as we're out there in the trenches. We're going to be, posting that on Instagram, day in, day out. And then obviously these lives, Tuesday, 9 p.m., everything related to real estate. That's Tuesday, and then Friday, 2:00, obviously deal of the week and any market updates. Today what I was learning was every day these loan, guidelines are changing. One of them today was how they're calculating rental income for new borrowers. So I have a client that's looking to buy a rental property, and because he's not renting out the house he's living in, he's going to rent out that property. They're not going to give him credit for that rent towards his debt to income. So I know that's a newer one on that loan guideline. So definitely check in here, you guys. Min's got great info for you, and we will try and keep bringing it to you as well. So,
all right, guys. So thank you very much for tuning in on Tuesday. Excuse me, on Friday night.
What day is today, Troy?
I don't know. It's been
Troy
crazy
zoned
busy.
out on me a while back.
So thank you very much. We check us out on Instagram or even YouTube. We'll get the weekly update to you. It's a weekly show we put out on the actual numbers of the market here in Southern California. You can see it. You can see exactly what's going on. You can get rid of all the opinions and the economists' opinions out there, and you're going to get real numbers. So you guys have a fantastic, day today. Be safe. Make sure you're safe over the weekend. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much.
Peace. God bless.